Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, Fraud
Our department, yay,
Department.
yay!
Oh man, it's been crazy. We've been gone. I know you've missed us like insanely, but we've been
Four
out.
continents in like 4 months. And yes, we're back on bumfuck US soil wholeheartedly in the most rural areas of America, from Georgia to the Midwest, Nebraska.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, yes. I'm currently
We
in
are back planted in the
Nebraska.
soil in the 250th year of America. We have some ish to talk about. All right.
Yes, we are. That
A big
is a big
deal.
thing. And oh, you know what's interesting? I saw we just may as well get on into it. I thought we were gonna talk about some other stuff. We'll talk about our travels in a minute. But so the 250th anniversary is coming up, right? And so, I'm staying in this hotel, and the only time I ever really watch TV, I watch the History Channel when I'm in these hotel rooms. So I'm watching the History Channel, and what comes up, the commercial they keep running over and over and over is this, and I'm thinking about ordering it. I actually thinking about ordering it for you, but it's a free for the children uh packet on American greatness and why America is hands down the greatest country ever. Let me see if I can Google it. I forgot the name of the website. It's like free
This is like some war propaganda because our kids are going to
yes,
be in
that's
the next
exactly what
war.
it looked like. Let me tell you. Free
Wow.
kids. Um,
But you can go get that. I mean, it's free because it's the same thing they're teaching in public education. It's the same thing we've been that they're quote unquote
yes,
learning.
the kids guide. Let me see if I can share screen. Is that a thing? Are we sharing screen?
I think you can share a screen.
Here. Okay. I think I found it here. This is hilarious. Like I said, I think I'm gonna buy it. But it's called The Kids Guide to America's 250th birthday. And then there's an online interactive thing.
Oh
Um,
God.
Look at this. This is
They got George on there. Is it George?
insane.
Oh
I'm
God.
looking like here's everything you get with the kit. Um, one, two, and three. I don't know what one. Oh, unlimited to the kids guide online. Now they're gonna really get in your head. Kids Guide to America's Greatness. Okay. But
MAGA starter
just
pack.
this is the starter. This is the propaganda starter pack. Uh, and I think maybe they're feeling like they need to try
The
to capture
story,
this generation.
the
I
story
don't
that
I don't
started it all.
know. Um,
Wow. Okay. Well, this is wow. What is that?
if I want you instead of I want you to join because that was the um enlist in the military thing. Uncle Sam wants you to join the military. So now it's like I want you to teach your kids about the story that started all. I'm curious to see what they're saying the story is.
Right. Right. Yeah, and how they're making it feel, how the interactions, how genocide and mass kill. I saw a picture that really did it for me. I don't know
Doesn't really
what
give you any information, huh? Go ahead.
the mass killing of the bison, you know what I mean? And the buffalo. Like I think that is one of the things
The
that
Buffalo Soldiers.
they don't really even talk about
Yeah,
as much. And I feel like that is such a big deal when you're able to see
this looks
like
immense.
when you're able to see these mass, I'm gonna share a screen real quick. These
Okay.
mass killings of any type of life, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's like trees or, animals or people, it's very disturbing. You know what I'm saying? And so this is an image that, really, really sticks in your head. And you see all these skulls, you know what I mean? And we have a really big fascination with skulls, hunting, death, capturing the kill and
And
whatnot.
bull worship is a big thing because of
Right,
yeah, bull worship is a big thing back in the day. Interesting.
right. Why is destruction part of our history? You know what I'm saying? What does PBS say about that? I think this is actually a video. Um, but yeah, this is the largest in known human history. The amount of animal loss we got in the 1800s. So when exactly was this so great? What's so great about this? You feel me? Like what we really doing? So, you know what I mean? It's really like crazy when you really get to like the when you really get to the dates, and then it's just like, so what part of y'all saying was great? Because y'all not making no sense. It's like we got our founding, we acting like we trying to end some slavery. Then we
No,
got
but between all that, you had the Middle Age. Well, no, the mid kind of like the Middle Ages. I mean, the 1700s were was a rough time, you know, coming out of like the Middle Ages. Then yeah, you had the post all the fighting post slavery. Then even with the Industrial Revolution, that wasn't a great time. I mean, you think
no,
about factories and things like
people
that
were dying.
now, but back then it was just a bunch of people crammed in a room trying to figure it
Kids.
out. You had unhealthy conditions. The food the food production, like I think 1940s 50s is when food production took off because of due to World War II. We had to start really, you know, manufacturing things, and it was a holy mess. I mean, just really rancid meats and no, you know, just no no food security, no food confidence in what you were buying. You just really had a lot of food, a lot of stomach cancer was really heavy, high and heavy at that time. So nothing about I just I failed to see a great, glorious, shining time where we can say that we were on the right side of things in our nation's history. Like I just feel like we have been the big bullies of the planet, and somehow, you know, somehow we seem to
Come on, like what is it?
somehow it's like kitty luck. It's like kids, you know, it's like beginner's luck. I don't know. Somehow we seem to, but I don't know. Right now, the way that things are going, with our system of government and all of that good stuff, I don't know where, you know, where we'll be, you know, here in the near future. However, yeah, just in the 250 years, I just don't see any great shining moments where we can really, you know, they always, everything we do, and that's the thing, that's the fraud of it all. Everything we do starts out with this noble cause, this noble intention. Oh yeah, we've got to rid the world. Oh, they've got weapons of mass destruction, we got to go get rid of that. No, they didn't. That was a lie. You know, they, I don't know why I don't know why we're in Iran, but whatever's going on there, I can't even keep up with all the things. But
Right.
everything always starts out as this noble intention, and that's how they get your buy-in. That's how they get, you know, your buy-in, Congress to sign off, you know, whatever justification we need for television and for the media. And then later down the road, you know, and then of course you have all these conspiracy theories that pop up later down the road. Things get declassified, and then we find out it was all a scam, and the cycle continues. So when do we pep up and say, "Hey, let's just not do this." You know what I mean? Like, let's
No.
just no. Why would you think that? Why would we do that? Why would we actually learn from our mistakes? I don't know. But yeah, this I'm gonna order this kit, and
I think we should. We need to break that down next episode. We're
we
gonna
will
go
break it
through
down next
the one,
episode. I
two,
want to see
three
what
on
they're,
America's
as the world
greatness.
teacher, I need to see what they're teaching our kids
What they're trying to put in your home.
about America. I'm curious to know who, it's called thekidsguide.com, free USA guide. I'm curious to know who's sponsoring this. It's probably going to remain anonymous, I would say.
Right.
Uh, but anyways, yes. So, but nevertheless, we have made it thus far, and not for nothing else, we are a part of this nation, whether we agree with it or not. So, shout out for the 250th birthday coming up.
Right.
We have, uh, we are still the baby of the bunch, but we have grown.
We out here.
We out here growing and living, and we're a really foul. And that's probably
So let's
a
go
whole
ahead and go
nother
into
episode.
this.
But
So speaking of the 250,
mhm.
as you know, world steppers as we are, we've been out and about. And so, the reactions that we get, the treatment that we may get when we're out and about in the world, it's funny, it's interesting, especially during these dark times. You know what I mean? And after a while, you start to realize why that is. You start to really absorb that and take that back on. It's like, you know what? Maybe I am that. Maybe we are these bullies. It's like the
Hey,
signal.
like,
Like, it's like, hold
I mean,
on. You know what I mean? And it's very sad to say, but this is the honest
well,
truth.
I'll say this. I'll say this. When people's energy comes at you in a low vibrational way, it's easy for us to
Snap back.
take on that low vibrational frequency that is the US bully frequency. Like, I wish you would.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and I will say this too. Um, as someone who has traveled the globe, for decades, it's always been kind of a quiet whisper of, oh, we don't like Americans, or like, oh, they're American. Now I think because Trump is so, forward facing and just out there, just with zero, F's to give, so does the rest of the world. And I think that the disdain for Americans is
Becoming more
becoming more and more
transparent.
evident. People are much more outward with their lack of care and respect for us as humans. So we need to wear a shirt. We need a shirt that says, "I did not vote for Trump."
But then people will be like, well, did you vote at all? And that's when that whole question goes on. So, it is voting season right
Eee,
now. We have a lot
eee,
of elections going on,
Eeyore,
shifting
Eeyore.
between the Democrats and the Republicans. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. And so it's, pick your poison. You know what I mean? Use your democratic duty as a citizen. That's one thing they teach you in the guide, I'm sure, your civic duties. And so part of civic duties may mean uprising, may mean storming the Capitol, may mean protesting your taxes. These are all
Storming of
options
the
and things that you can
Bastille.
do. Right.
Yeah.
So, let's just keep in mind when we talk about how great this place is that it's never been too much consistency. There's always been somebody ready to shake it up, changing of
The
power,
British are coming. The British are coming.
changing of the guard. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing was based on just turning left. Hey, we going this way. Whoop, scream. We doing everything this way. Nah, psych.
Pivot.
So y'all want to do it up this way up there? We gonna do it this way down here. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a lot of dichotomy and variation even within our great nation of the United States of America. And one of the things that a lot of us have said when it comes to this quote unquote unitedness is these controlled substances. Like what y'all out here controlling these substances for? So we have, our few states and cities that we know and hold so dear when it comes to the green leaf. But then we have these other places where it's like you look it up on Google, you go to AI and it's like, is this legal? And it's like, well, and it's like
Allegedly.
allegedly. It's so confusing. And it's like just that whole system in and of
Like, what
itself.
is it been like? Yeah, like
State to
it's not
state.
legal, but it's been decriminalized. What
Right.
does that
So
mean?
you might not see a judge, but you shouldn't have it. Like it don't make sense. And so when we travel to the EU or maybe
For
even
those who don't know, the EU is the European Union. It's the union of all European nations underneath the euro denomination of money exchange. Go ahead.
you ask the guy at the counter, okay, is this legal? What is this? He gives you a very straightforward and simple thing. But when it's like we're here, it's all about loopholes and how you can break a rule but not really break the rule. And that mindset goes into almost everything you do. How can I get over? How can I scheme? How can I try to get one over on this person, this company? You know what I'm saying? Just to get what I want versus like, how can I
America was
be
founded on the
smooth?
hustle.
The hustle and the
You
hoedown
are always being hustled.
for everything. But then when we go
We're
other
hustling
places,
you right now. We're hustling you because later we're going to talk about this book and this app and these other things we want you to download and want you to get and subscribe and share. We're hustling you now for your attention.
right. We're
You're
implanting
always being
ideas in your
hustled.
mind. But let's talk about some of the scams and hustles that we saw abroad, in some countries. I don't know how specific we want to get, But in the US, the hustle is hiding. It's always underneath the surface. We can play a video from our friend what's his name? No, our good buddy. But yeah, just even being able to have money, like just the whole concept of an exchange rate. Like do you want to get into that and just talk about
Yeah,
how
so
hard it
so
is
yeah,
just
so for
to
those who don't know, money and currency, you think that you travel, you think that Bobby Finn, that's our shout
Bobby
out to Bobby
Finn.
Finn. Because we're about to steal his thing. But you think you travel, you go, and they have all these wonderful things called the currency exchange, the Travel X, the Telex. You can even order money. My preference is to order, like if I'm going somewhere like Europe, is to order euros from the bank in advance. You can order them, they'll deduct the money from your account, and then they'll deliver the actual cash money to you via like FedEx or I think it was FedEx that it came the last time. But anyways, so and you think you go about your business and you go and you travel and you visit and you support and
So this
you
part
tour.
is
You're a tourist, you go tour with your
right.
money. And so I learned this the hard way. On my the first time I found this out was my trip to Ethiopia, and I had exchanged a bunch of money and things like that, and no problem. I didn't end up spending it all. Spent quite a bit, but didn't end up spending it all. Well, when I got back to let's see, I went from to back to Paris, I think it was. I went
Golly.
from yeah, one thing I got back to Paris, went to the currency exchange to go, change my money back because they always say they buy it back, and everything. And lo and behold, they said that they don't have that. They didn't have that. And I was like, what do you mean?
What do you mean by
So
that?
I bought currency. I expected to sell currency back. And I was like, no, no, why would you think that? And so apparently Ethiopia, and as we also found in our recent trip to Morocco, they have what's called like closed currency. Their currency it does not operate
Flow
as
to
a
the
current. Okay.
river, down the
It is
stream.
not a current in other countries,
Right.
or it does
It's
not share an
in-house.
exchange rate in other countries. So you get it there, you have to use it there, and you better exchange it there before you leave, or you are SOL. That's
In
it.
other words,
Even
they
so.
give you a rate, you can't get no rate nowhere else. So you got to do all your
Yeah.
business,
So
in-house.
that was insane. I was like, what?
Hmm.
Okay, that's fraud, but okay. So I learned that little bit the hard way. So hopefully you'll catch this, and you don't have to learn the hard way because you will know. Just make sure anytime you are exchanging currency, do not use the airports, and make sure that you exchange your money back before you
Heading back
leave.
home.
So yeah, before you leave said country. Do not wait to get to some other country to exchange a bunch of foreign currency. And the best place to exchange currency, like I said, it's either order in advance from your bank. In the US, you'll get a decent exchange rate that way, or wait until you get into the city, either use an ATM, or you wait until you get into the city that you're going to. They will often have, in the tourist areas, they will often have currency exchange locations that don't charge the high fees, but never get it at the airport. Okay, that is I mean, it needs to be a dire emergency, like somebody is in jail, about to go to jail. I don't
Yeah,
know,
and
but
only get what you need. Don't get all this, all
or
the
yeah,
other
or
stuff.
only get what you need. We had to get some in Greece, and it was like I wish
We
I
got
didn't
greased
follow
up.
that advice. Oh man, I got greased that bad. But I could have just gotten just a little bit that I needed to pay this. Oh, let's talk about that. The Greek Greece ought to be shamed.
Oh
Greece ought to
man.
be shamed. You think that supporting a country, going supporting their industry, their tourism, their tours, their hotels, Airbnbs, things of that nature, you think that would be enough?
Right.
No. You think that
Right.
when they quote you the price on Airbnb and say this is everything including tax, that's the amount you're going to pay?
Right.
No.
Right. And so just
What
a
what
little.
they say when we got there? What was the thing? What was the thing we had to pay?
Yeah, so basically it was an $8 a day tax, and this is a tax known as the Climate Resilience Tax, started in 2024, and this specifically is only applied to tourists. Um,
Climate resilience tax. Okay.
right. And so this can go towards including different prevention and like restoration projects, infrastructure, things that they should be handling on their own.
And
Anyway,
let me pause right there and say, because this is the thing. One thing somebody said that was really interesting to me. They're trying to blame us for their climate resilience or whatever this tax is, when this out of this, I think out of the 6 million people that live in Greece, 4 million of them live in Athens. So if
right,
you didn't have this ridiculous concentration of people,
right.
hey, shout out to Bobby Finn. If you didn't have this ridiculous concentration of people in that area, maybe, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't be deteriorating the way it is.
And look, you also
Nothing
get
but
taxed
ruin.
much more based on the rating of the hotel. So we were staying at a pretty modest Airbnb outside of the city of Athens, closer towards the beach. So we were paying, I think it was $8 a night. So we were right between that 3 to 4 euros a night. That 3 to 4 star.
Euros.
But if you're
Make sure, make sure you clear, because that ain't dollars. That's more
I
than
said, yeah, I
dollars.
said dollars. No, it's
Yeah.
not. So yeah, basically the nicer experience you have, you're gonna be paying more climate resilience because your experience is taking up more infrastructure and
I need to go
resources.
back and look at the Moxie. I need to go look at that Marriott that we stayed in the city of Greece, because I don't remember
So
them.
80 square meters versus detached houses over under square meters and over 80 square meters. So,
Oh, okay. So I
yeah,
might not have had to pay one.
right. And so
That sounds like fraud.
it was
Okay.
just weird because it's like, okay, they asking for this money up front in cash
And
and
they
we're not
want the
paying
money cash
Airbnb.
when you get there. And then on Airbnb, it tells you specifically, don't pay nobody cash.
Right. It
Nobody
says
should be
issue the
asking for
corresponding
cash. So
receipt.
that's
We got
fraud.
no receipt.
Fraud alert.
Fraud alert. In some cases, booking platforms such as Airbnb may allow the fee to be paid during the booking process if the property is chosen to activate. This is done purely for the convenience. Basically, we're conveniencing you to tax you
That's why their whole
on like,
civilization fell.
come on now, stop playing. But anyway,
Yes.
so yeah, just it the
Nations rise, nation fall. We're still the
every
baby.
trip
Like I said, we're still the baby of the bunch.
every trip, you know what I'm saying, starts off and ends as a grift. You know what I mean? There's always some type of, just
A
natural
grip. What is
extraction
that?
of your pockets, huh?
What's a grift? A grift?
A grift. You never heard grift?
A
Like,
grift.
yeah, grift. Word of the day, grifting. Yeah, grifting is something where you're usually trying to unethically make money. You know what I'm saying? To swindle, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
jigging or
Jigging,
hustling.
yeah, jigging,
Well, no,
finessing.
hustling isn't always making it in a negative way. You just, you just working
Right,
hard. Hustling can just be working hard. But yeah,
right,
jigging.
right.
Okay,
Hmm.
grifting.
So I don't have pro. It has 7 minutes left. So do we want like how we want to? It's gonna cut us off in 7 minutes. That's what it says.
So we'll have to do a part two.
I'm gonna
Um,
I'll be able to start it back up.
Dang. So we only get, how long do we get? 30 minutes.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I had started the meeting
So
a
you
little.
downgraded a lot of things.
Hey, yeah,
Our Netflix is downgraded. You know,
yeah,
downgraded
these software is
food.
getting
Yeah.
expensive now. It's like you guys spend 200 a month just to
The fraud department's on the struggle. We
right
need some
on the
donations.
struggle. Oh
So
no!
buy the book, get
By
the
the
app.
book, y'all.
We'll leave the links in the description box. We need to
hop on,
upgrade so we
hop
can have
on the
more
soul
things.
sync. Hop on the soul sync, Shouty.
Okay, so we need to have, okay, so we are going to need to, we're not just going to be able to ramble on for hours anymore. We're going to have to plan our, if we're going to
Yeah.
stay on the, we're
On the Zoom,
on the
Zoom.
recession plan. The recession plan.
Oh
We need to,
no, not the recession plan.
on the, we
Yeah.
just came back from out of the country and spent all our money plan.
Yeah. I'm like, I ain't finna have all
That's
this
okay. I'd
stuff.
rather spend all my money on travel. But we'll be a little bit more prepared next time. We'll talk a little bit more about what we observed in these countries, some of the good, the bad, the unacceptable, and then yeah, we'll be back. But Fraud Department, we are back. We are committed. Are we committed, Aiden?
We're committed. We're committed.
We're committed. Every Sunday we're gonna be here. We have We
Yeah.
realized that to run a successful podcast, you actually have to
We're gonna post this raw,
show up.
nothing. We're gonna post this now. We're back. All caps. Fraud department. Forever.